go. So on this very special episode, I'm going to give you an hour. An hour is when I'd be like, that's it, man. Because we just put one out. So, but major stuff happens. Everybody's like, let's go and rant.
It's the mouse fire curse.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as we say something.
As soon as we record, news comes out.
Like big news, too.
Like the hugest.
Yeah. So I'm going to let it go.
So unless you've been living in a cave.
Yeah.
Anybody listening to this podcast would know by now that the new quote-unquote pass holder program has been announced for Disneyland. Magic fucking key. I got your magic key. I got your magic key right. Oh my. Well, I wasn't even gonna go with the keyhole analogies, but I got your magic key right here. That's all I gotta say, because it's the stupidest name that they could ever have come up with. I don't like it. Let's just start off that right off the bat.
But why have I not seen a bunch of people? Like, I know I sent you guys, I am the Keymaster, like from Ghostbusters. Why am I not seeing that everywhere? I should literally be seeing that everywhere. Is it? Because I was like, come on, man.
Because we're the only smart ones.
That's the first thing I thought of when they said that. I said, I am the Keymaster, looking for the gate. Like, that's the first freaking thing that came into mind.
Right?
Jeez, man.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like, they're still calling them annual passes in Florida and pretty much everywhere else. Like, whatever you call it, a mouse by any other name. It's the same.
Well, hold on. I didn't pay attention to this. I didn't pay attention to this because, not my park. But did Florida get the same thing, or is it just going to be just over here?
All Florida said was they're going to start selling annual passes again in time for their 50th.
Okay.
That's all that's been said, because they did halt the selling of passes in Florida. But Florida's been on a reservation system since they opened back up again, and that hasn't changed. It hasn't changed for their pass holders or anything. So this is Disney's wanted to control who comes to the park. Like, that was their biggest issue. And through the reservation system, they've discovered that they get to do that. So I don't see reservations going away ever, because they're not going away in Florida or anywhere else. So.
Well, they can't. And because it's literally built into this pass system, so they are stuck with reservations for as long as they want to be stuck with this pass system. The second they get rid of reservations, they have to redo the pass system again, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think they'll want to, though, because this is going to solve a lot of their overcrowding issues, especially weeknights when even the lowest tier passes were open. So the most crowding occurred when there's no blackout dates for that lowest tier pass and people were coming after work. So this allows them to stop that we don't know factor. It's like, you have to make a reservation, even if you want to go for 3 hours on a Wednesday, and Disney controls that. And that's ultimately, I think, what they've wanted to do, is be able to control how many people are coming into the park. Because Disneyland isn't Disney World. They're two completely different beasts. So this gives them that opportunity to stem the flow.
I agree. When they announced this, I said, they're going to keep the reservation system, and that's how they're going to limit the thing. Because we all thought, to our surprise, the payment plan came back for California residents. And we thought that was that's just gone. There's no way. That's how you control it.
Yeah,
price people out.
We assumed that was a non-starter just because of the way that we thought that was how they were going to keep the number of passes down. But at this point, they don't seem interested in keeping the number of passes down per se, as opposed to using reservations to keep the number of pass holders per day down.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. They're going to sell a boatload of $1,400 passes. They can sell 1 million plus again, and they still get to control when you get to come to the park. Right. So your $1,400 pass is only as good as your reservation, and so Disney ultimately holds the key. And from what I've been looking at, a large number of people are going for those top two tier passes. And it was really brilliant of them, too, to offer a discount on parking on that second tier. So, if you get the Dream Key, yeah, that's the one with no blackout dates and it's free parking and stuff. But if you get the one underneath that, I want to say it's Believe. I think
Yes.
it's the Believe key.
Dream is top, then Believe, then Enchant, then Imagine.
That's half off parking, and it's like $400 cheaper. That's actually not bad. That's not a bad deal.
You know what, to be honest, though, if you do the math, and you only need to go probably about 16 times, I think, in order to pay off that $400 difference between the through parking or something like that. But the problem with the 50% parking, and I've already seen it, if I have to believe people in the car, does that 50 plus 50 count up to 100% so we get free parking? I've already seen people asking that. Shit you not. I've already seen people asking that. And
They're
I'm surprised.
welcome to ask.
And if I was actually still in Michael's group, I'm surprised that I would be surprised if somebody in there has asked the question, because there are some stupid shit people in Michael's groups. But this was not in Michael's group. This was in another group, shockingly, that usually it has smart people in it. But no, I've already seen that question, and the answer is no.
Why didn't you tell them that no, you each have to pay because you're each in the car, so you each get 50% off. So it really, because you carpooled, it's only like having to pay once.
Right?
Tell them that works logically, doesn't it?
Right?
I haven't seen that question, but I can definitely tell you that legacy pass holder, if they change their name, oh man, the question coming out of that thing, I just slapped my forehead so many times. I'm sorry right now.
I gotta be honest, I think working with the public for as long as I have, there is, like, nothing shocks me anymore. There's not one question that is asked where I'm like, wow, never.
Especially in the Disney community.
I'm sorry, it's Twitter that's done that for me, but
Twitter's pretty bad.
So let's ask this, okay? Because I'm one of the ones who I'm gonna get a dream key, and I'm gonna get a dream key for what I want to do. Now, does that begin, because the way it's set up, where okay, I can get 6 reservations, I can hold 6 reservations at a time? Is that going to make it difficult for people who, because we all know there were people that were there almost every day. Is that going to make it more difficult for these people who were there almost every day with the previous system to do that? Is that a pain in the butt to keep having to go through and reserve stuff? Because for a little bit I was going once a week. It was just because it was the time that I could. But, you know, I'd at least go a couple times a month. For sure. More in the summertime. I would go more in the summertime. I would go at least probably 2 times a week in the summertime because I'm off in the summertime. I could see how that could, the way that it works, how I could actually continue that, to do that. So do you think that's what it's meant to do? Do you think that has any factor into it to keep people that were there every single day?
Only in the beginning. You know, I mean, just like the pandemic, you know, once everything was open, everybody rushed. You know, everybody, whatever money had, rushed Disneyland, not SeaWorld, Magic Mountain, and you saw the parks, you know, just full-blown packed for a while. So I think that's what you're going to expect, and like, just in the beginning. I could tell you, you know what I mean, let's just say, like, my friend in Florida, you know, even though it's a bigger park, you know, he's gone on packed summer days and got reservations same day and showed up in the evening time, so I mean, I just think that later on, once it calms down, you know, just like Avengers, you know, the campus, everybody's all hype, and then, oh yeah, and then next thing you know, after a couple of weeks, died down and it's wide open and easy.
Yeah. So
I don't. No, go ahead.
That's what I kind of was thinking, because when we bought the 3-day passes that we're currently still using, and we'll talk about that in a minute because I know there's some people angry about that. Bought the 3-day passes. It was not any kind of work or hard. We got every day that we wanted, and it wasn't even a factor. It really was like, you know, I bought it and then like, oh, we want to go in like 2 weeks, and it was totally open. Both parks were totally open, had space, you know, for all 3 days that we wanted, but the first one was only like 2 weeks out, and it wasn't even an issue.
You know, Knott's did the reservation system for a really long time, and it wasn't until just a few weeks ago that they sort of just kind of, I think the reservation was in name only, like that started to be really easy. But I was able to get reservations for Knott's whenever I wanted, as long as I was several days out. So at the beginning, it was difficult to get a same day. Like that was hard. But like, it was like a Sunday and I wanted to go on a Thursday and I got reservations with no problem. So
you figured it out after a while.
Yeah, I think that with anything, like it just change is hard, and very difficult for people. And when you're used to like, but I want it now, I think that people are going to kind of reject this for a minute. But once you get used to it, I don't think it'll be too big of an issue. I think that the big days will be gone. I think it'll be hard to get like a Christmas reservation or a 4th of July. Like, but if you want to go on a Sunday in September, I don't really think it's going to be like this huge hot ticket. I do think
Christmas, Halloween.
Already. Yeah, the big ones will be hard, but like I think that it'll probably be more difficult to get a reservation on the blackout days for those lower tier passes, because they're going to be pigeonholed onto what they can go to. So like if you're a Dream Key, it'll probably be easier to get passes on the days that the other ones are blocked out. But I still don't think this is going to be like, I just paid $1,400 and I never get to go. Like, I don't see that. That would be not in Disney's best interest.
Yeah, I think they unintentionally had a test program for this, and it was called the Flex Pass.
Yeah.
And they didn't know that they were doing a test for this. Maybe somewhere in their head they thought, hey, this would be great if we could do all passes like this. But this is it is basically just like a super refined version of the Flex Pass. But I think that the question that we should be asking is how many people that are buying, like you said, the multi-day passes, the special package passes, even one-day passes now, like all of you people, how many of those people are going to be the ones who are going to turn around and get passes versus how many people are just going to still continue going about their business of their one time a year or whatever biannual Disney trips? You know, the people that are going to continue to be non-pass holders, but are still going to be going, versus all of the reservation allowed pass holders that are going to be allowed to go into the park on top of those people that are already paying their one-day admissions, which obviously was the problem before. You had all of your people going with your one-day admissions or whatever, your park hoppers and all that crap before, plus on top of the million of pass holders that all wanted to go on a Thursday because they thought that there'd be nobody there. So you have all of those things that have to be factored in that could either be potential for it being even more crowded than it is now, like the old days, or it could potentially be, like Michael said, there could be like rush on certain days at first, but then eventually it's going to become like knots and you can get a reservation for any day. I doubt
as long as you don't have the fights.
Well,
trust me, they'll have those too. Everywhere has them lately. Well, because Disney's been doing this for a while in Florida, they actually release certain numbers for certain things. So like they have X amount of reservations available for ticket sales, X amount of reservations available if you're in the hotel, and X amount of reservations available for the pass holders. So if you're a pass holder, let's say they do, I don't know, let's say 20,000 reservations for pass holders. But then separate from that, they also have like 20,000 for the hotel guests, and then they have 20,000 for ticket sales. So what I think they've ended up doing as we've gone on is if it's the same day and they realize that they haven't had 20,000 in ticket sales, they'll release a certain number of those back to the annual pass holders, which is allowing them to get same day reservations. But like, from what I'm hearing, it's still super hard to get a Hollywood Studios reservation, but like really easy to get Epcot. So what you're going to end up seeing,
DCA place to go.
Exactly. So I think what you're going to end up seeing is just like when they released ticket sales for here, Disneyland was getting sold out right away. and people were like, "Oh, well, DCA is available," which I don't get because I love DCA. I feel like I'm hugely in the minority because I absolutely love going to DCA. But whatever, I guess I'm weird.
Now the difference will be obviously you'll have the opposite of that. Well, maybe not the opposite, but you're gonna have a swing though. You used Epcot as an example. When Food and Wine starts at Epcot, you're gonna have a swing towards Epcot getting more reservations. Yeah. Same if they bring back Food and Wine at DCA. You're going to have that swing back towards people wanting to get reservations for DCA, and then you'll end up with people at DCA during the day, and then everybody park hopping over to Disneyland.
Well, yeah, let's talk about park hopping for a second.
Which is the opposite of what most people would do if they get a Disneyland reservation, and then they'll end up at DCA at night. Or maybe back at Disneyland.
Did you see what happened with park hopping the way that it's written?
Oh yeah, you have to reserve a park hopper ticket. Like you can't just get Disneyland and then after one park hop over to DCA. Like the way they're doing it here, you have to reserve your day as a park hopper.
I didn't see that. I just saw the 1 o'clock thing. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw the 1 o'clock thing.
So there's 3 different reservations basically.
But you have to start in the park that you reserved first.
Yes.
Right.
But then after 1 o'clock, if you were to arrive after 1 o'clock, it doesn't matter what park you start in. Did you catch that? That's the way that it's written.
Which would mean that it would never matter which park I start in because I never show up before 1 o'clock.
That's what I mean. So the way we were doing it when we were hanging out at being like on a Friday night or whatever it was,
right?
We wouldn't show up until 9 o'clock. So it really didn't matter on this current reservation system. It doesn't matter which one we hold. I'll get DCA away because it's kind of a busy day to get DCA. It doesn't really matter because at 9 o'clock I can hop into Disneyland anyway. It didn't really matter. Yeah, because it's after the 1 o'clock. It doesn't matter what park you stop.
You still need to get the park hop reservation then.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I was reading, like you have to, and then they'll have like different ones. So like you can reserve Disney first, park hop to DCA, or DCA then park hop to Disney. Similar as to the park hopper tickets now, I believe. I haven't used a park hopper for Disney yet.
You have to choose a starting park. Yeah.
Yeah, and so because I just got the 1 park a day ticket. So I'm not sure, but from what I've been seeing, that's the way. And then the way it was, you had to go to your park first. Like if you wanted to park hop from DCA to Disney, you had to go check in at DCA first and then go over to Disney. But I guess you don't have to do that with the pass.
No, I think it's still. I believe it's still after 1.
Yeah, no, it's still after 1. But I mean, like, let's say I get there at 5 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah, you could go into either one because you had that.
Yeah,
because you had the park
and the
hopper.
way they were doing it for a while was if I had a park hopper ticket, I had to go check in at my.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Then I could go. Like they just wanted to make it one extra step, I guess.
So let's look at data driven, right, Gina?
Yeah, you know it.
October, because we know Halloween season is when we ramp up for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
October.
They're already ramping up. They have freaking pumpkins.
Oh yeah, it starts early.
August 1st. Apparently, Halloween is starting now.
Look how long it takes to do that.
I was at Albertsons on whatever day it was this week, and they already had a tiny display started of candy.
Everybody does.
This is the way I look at it. Well, because they have to be ahead, but man, I feel like it's just getting earlier and earlier. But the way it is after 2020, there are no rules. You want to keep your Christmas tree up all year long? Go for it.
That's not what it is. It's because of the and having worked in retail, in the back with stocking stuff, the way that it is it's shipped out super early. And right now, because of the demand, the shipping problems, I'm sure it's even earlier because you have all these problems with shipping anything because of the pandemic. So in having worked in retail, in January, we would be getting patio furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after a while,
they're ahead.
You only, because you have to have it all stocked in. So when people want it, you have it. The problem is you start to run out of space in the back because of the amount that you're getting. So as soon as something starts to clear out as soon as that Christmas merchandise starts to clear out, at the very end of December, what do we got? Okay, well, logically, it actually would be Easter. And the spring type stuff, it starts making its way out. Why? Because you have it and you need space in the back for what's next to come. Because you don't just all of a sudden, like one day, start getting, no, it comes in all these shipments, and I'm sure the pandemic has made that worse. So that's why you have it. Yeah, we would see Christmas stuff. Yeah, in August, in late August and into September, we would already be starting to get Christmas stuff. And be like, that's the bay over there for Christmas stuff. It just gets stacked there until Halloween is cleared out. Because most times you sell out of Halloween stuff. Because it's Halloween, I believe, is the second major holiday for displays and decorations after Christmas. So most of that sells out. So automatically, like next day, even before Halloween, you start condensing it and start setting up Christmas. That's just the way that it works. So I'm not surprised by any of that at all. Because having worked it and having received that stuff, and like there really is like no room in the back to put this. Like we don't have space because you've got all your regular merchandise as well. Plus the special stuff, push it out as soon as you can, so it's there. When you sell it. That's why when you notice too, you also stop receiving it sooner than the actual holiday. So that's why you notice when you want something Halloween based, like last minute, sometimes you can't find it because it's not there. Why? Because they already stopped receiving it. Like they're just with what's left over. That's the reason you get your kid who gets a crappy Halloween costume because all that's left is the horse mask. You know what I mean? It works like that.
Yeah, and looking at the calendar and based on when they've been starting Halloween at Disneyland the last couple of years, I'm looking at kickoff for Halloween probably being September 10th, which is a month and 2 days from now.
No, it's September 3rd. They already announced it.
Is it? So they've moved it.
September 3rd.
They've already announced it. Walt Disney World.
Okay, so
Boo Bash is starting this month. Boo Bash starts like this week.
Boo Bash has been starting at the end of August for a few years now, but
so
Disneyland Halloween at Disneyland used to be basically the third weekend or whatever.
Yeah, somewhere around the 13th. There's always somewhere around the 13th.
There's technically like almost like 5 weeks in September this year, but it was always like around the 15th to 17th area is when it started, but then like 2 years ago they moved it up to like the 10th, and now it's no surprise that the escalation has continued, and now it's going to be basically all of September, all of October. So I mean that just it's on brand for them to move it up yet another week.
What I was going to say when I was talking about the data thing is that the Imagine Key, the lowest one, the number of dates available in September are 17. And then it moves down to 12 for October. And then we've got November has a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Which
16. 16 in November and then 10 in December, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the Believe?
That's the Imagine, the lowest one.
Oh, Imagine.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then.
And is that equivalent to the SoCal Pass? We have.
I'm not sure about the number of dates.
It is a SoCal Pass because it is only for Southern California residents. Okay. So it's basically is the SoCal Pass because of the fact that it is for Southern California residents only. So super
cheap. Like that one is super affordable. If it's what, like $400 or something.
Yeah,
and
$399.
Yeah,
it's the same price the SoCal Select was.
Right.
And the dates are going to run the same. I don't know about the number of dates. I didn't look into that because I didn't have that pass.
I have it right in front of me. The days available on the Imagine is 147. The SoCal Select was 170.
Oh, so it is less.
It is a little less. But if you're
30 days lower.
But what I mean, you only have, if it's $400, the cheapest day ticket to Disney is like $100. You go 5 times and you've already paid for that pass. So. Like it's, in my opinion, that's a very affordable pass. Maybe not for like a whole family. Like maybe your whole family can't get that pass. But if you're just one person and you like to go to Disney 5 times a year, that's a very affordable pass. I'm honestly floored that Disney kept these prices. This price point,
no,
especially
not really because they increased the blackout dates. But what I was going to say is the dates that are available on that pass are really similar to what the SoCal Select ones are, which are generally Monday through Thursday. Most of those dates are Monday through Thursday. It doesn't include any weekends, like at all. I'm actually looking at the calendar right now. I don't see a single weekend available on that. There are a couple of Fridays, but there's no Saturdays, there's no Sundays, and most of the Fridays are blacked out, as well as it's all summer. You only have 2 days in June. All of July is blacked out, and then you only have 5 days towards the end of August.
You're talking about the Imagine still, right?
I'm still talking about the Imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and SoCal Select was really limited like that too, which is why people that had it, a lot of them decided to jump up a little bit higher on that chain because it was so limiting. But it's affordable. But there is, I don't know where the extra blackout dates are, but obviously there's another 30 dates that are blacked out. So I would imagine that
anything lower is all like a little bit 10, 15, maybe higher on blackout days compared to
the Imagine one. What Anthony said, this was 30 dates difference, a whole month. So yeah,
it's 23 days.
And we can jump up to and talk about for a second. So the Believe. The
the difference is 33 blackout dates if you want to compare the Signature Pass, but for $200 less, exactly $200 less than the Signature Pass, which had 350 days available, but had parking included. You get 317 days.
So this is the one I'm actually going to buy my kids.
Yeah,
this is the one.
Yeah, it's definitely you're in the position of basically like what some people do with like knots and stuff, or even what they were doing with Disneyland before, is you only need one person to have that parking.
Yeah. So besides the parking, looking at this pass, it works for my kids because the typical blackout dates on the Signature Pass were going to be the 2 weeks of Christmas anyway, which continues to be what it is. There's 2 weeks and a weekend. That's fine. And so the 17th is their last day that they can get in before the new year. So that's fine. That we were used to that. Added to that is a week.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Thanksgiving, which was usually a blackout time, which is fine. Added
that
to
wasn't
that.
A blackout on the Signature.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't do that anyway. That's not a week that I would
on
normally
the Signature. The only blackouts on the Signature were the 2 weeks of Christmas, and that was it.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I think no, it's just that weekend. It's Thanksgiving weekend.
It's
not the entire week.
It's Thursday through Saturday. Actually, it's not even Sunday.
Which still benefits us because we're off that entire week. Mm-hmm. So I still could go at the beginning of the week and have a little fun. And then what would I guess be termed a spring break week in the middle of April.
Right.
But then our spring breaks usually run the end of March or the very beginning of April, so that doesn't even affect us.
There are also some Saturdays in March, a couple Saturdays in March, for whatever reason.
And Anthony knows we usually don't go on Saturday.
Right, so that's what I mean. Most of the scattered blackout days on the Believe that aren't holidays are basically just Saturdays here and there. And I'm like, well, what smart pass holder wants to go on a Saturday anyways?
Saturdays in July.
Well, I said smart. You walked right into that one, buddy.
Hey, if I'm on my way from a trip somewhere and I stop by, hey, so be it.
We've done it too, but like we know going in, it's going to be busy. And,
or
do
if
this.
it's the only way for all of us to be there, go together, or bands, but we can see bands on Fridays. So
Friday night was our thing. Like it really was. It was Friday night. We get through that work week, and it's like, let's go to Disneyland. It's Friday night, so we got really used to doing that. So it looks like it just with the reservation, we'll continue to do Friday nights. So that's fine with me.
Now let's real quick. We talked about the 6 at a time. On the 2 lower passes, it's not 6.
No.
On the Imagine pass, it's 2, which is the same as it was on the Flex Pass. Interestingly enough. The Flex Pass, I believe, was also 2. And then the Enchant Pass, which we haven't even talked about at all, is 4 at a time. So.
I heard people I know who had the Flex Pass before, they loved it. Like, I have not heard anyone who didn't like having their Flex Pass. So, like I'm a planner. It's just the way I am. And so having to make reservations, that part of this whole thing doesn't bother me. Like I'm never one who, rarely will I wake up and be like, I think I'm just going to go somewhere today. Like that's just not me. But so I think the people who maybe don't like that reservation portion are just people who like to get up and go more. But I've not heard one person say they didn't like the Flex Pass.
That's interesting you say that, because I know several people who had a Flex Pass, liked the price, but didn't like the fact that it was like, oh man, I kind of limited as to when I can go, especially when something was going on.
And I did a whole breakdown and a whole monologue about the Flex Pass when it came out on the other podcast. And I broke it down that if it was possible, if you played your cards right, that you could possibly go more times than you could for the price. For the price, you could go more times than you could on the deluxe if you played your cards right. And I broke it down, and I had people that were skeptical of that, and my friend Victoria was skeptical, but she ended up getting herself the signatures for the parking, and then she bought her kid the Flex Pass, and she ended up loving the Flex Pass because she was able to get in on days that she thought she would never be able to get in with the Flex Pass for the price, and it was so much better for her. And I mean, it was just like people who didn't like the Flex Pass were people that didn't know how to use it correctly. I'll just say that. And it'll be the same thing with these passes. Either you'll get your money's worth out of it because you played the system and you got in all the days you wanted, or you try to go on a bunch of Saturdays and you won't get your money's worth out of that if you just try to go on Saturdays. It's like you gotta get in those weekdays, you gotta get in some of those lower impact days in order to get your money's worth. Otherwise, you're gonna end up being like crying at the end of the year, at the end of your past year, and be like, I didn't get to go as many times as I thought because I'm dumb.
The only people I want to see cry are the vloggers. That's it. I want to watch vloggers
I'm
cry
here for
big
vlogger
salty
crying anytime.
tears. That's all. Those are the only people I want to see cry. I don't want to see anyone else cry over these passes. I just want to see big salty vlogger tears, because watching them have meltdowns because their freaking AdSense is going down is like, I feel so bad for you. And then just go be their, internet panhandlers. But I think that I'm actually looking forward to it. Like, I had been wanting to get my Disneyland pass again anyway. My life kind of changed so that I could afford it again, and that it wasn't going to be that big of a deal. And we go to Knott's all the time anyway. That's kind of our, what we do. And so we enjoyed going to Disney. I like Disney for different reasons. So we're getting the Dream Pass because we have to go on Saturdays a lot. Saturday mornings. We don't go, we're out of there before it gets super busy, but, and both of us like having parking. If a lower pass had full parking or a parking add-on, I would even consider it, but I hate paying for parking.
Same.
That bothers me.
Yeah, same. If the Believe had parking, we would probably both get Believe passes. Just as the same as how both of us had Signature. Neither of us had Signature Plus, because I was like, Christmas, who cares about that?
Yeah. I went on, it was in the 2 weeks. It wasn't on Christmas, but it was between Christmas and New Year's. We did that once, and I said I will never do that again. It was the most claustrophobic I have ever felt anywhere at any theme park.
There's no reason to go during that time. You can go on November 13th, or you can go on late November, and the park looks exactly the same, and all the same stuff is happening at the park late November as it is late December. You go early December. I can go on my birthday, and it'll be exactly the same as if you go on December 25th. It'll be all the same amenities, all the same decorations, all the same parades, all the same shit. Everything is the same. There's no reason to go on those 2 weeks unless you really have a hard-on to go Christmas Day or New Year's.
I think it would be fun to do it once. If you're gonna, or if you, that was your family thing, you guys got a hotel and you did it up big. But having just gone once, we went for our anniversary. I told my husband, I was like, we are never doing this again. And he was like, no, it was awful. But I want to have full parking. So if that second tier had a parking option where you could like upgrade to a full parking pass, like that would have been the one I got. But I don't want to pay, like personally, I don't want to pay for parking.
I'm not paying $12.50 for parking.
Yeah.
Somehow along the way, it became a tradition to go on December 23rd. So December 23rd, 2019, was the last time I was there, obviously, on December 23rd. I will be there again December 23rd, 2021. You can believe it. But I don't get there till 9 o'clock in the evening. So I get there, do a little late night Christmas shopping. By that time, after the fireworks, a lot of people have gone home. So you hit, at one point it was we called it the trifecta of holiday, overlays. The Haunted Mansion, the Jingle Cruise when it was, kind of the Jingle Cruise, and of course Small World, doing that. This last one, I was with Diggs actually. It was with Diggs and my brother. We had a reservation for Oga's. So we went in and had some drinks with Rex. Did the 2 rides because Jingle Cruise wasn't a thing last year. Did a little bit of Christmas shopping. Lost my annual pass. Had a good time. I lost the actual
invite, but I wouldn't have been able to
You wouldn't have been able to get in. I would have invited you, but you wouldn't have been able to get in.
Because I had a signature pass. So.
Yeah. As did my kids, but those of us that had the plus decided, hey, let's make a little bit of a trip out of it. You did it. Main Street empties out. You get those beautiful pictures saying, oh, Merry Christmas, and just like that's the whole vibe. But I mean, it was 12:30 in the morning.
Let's just get some other technical stuff out of the way. Discounts. Imagine, Enchant, and Believe 10% across the board. Dining and discount merchandise discounts are both 10%, and then the Dream is basically the same as what the Signature Plus and the Signature was. It's 20 on merchandise and 15 on dining. So another good reason to have at least one person have the Dream Pass.
Yeah.
Because of the merch and dining discounts. That's another good reason for that. And then just another technical note that going back to, we haven't really talked about the payment plans yet, but the payment plans do work out to be quite a bit for the Dream. I mean, it's $102 per month for 12 months, but we'll note that the required down payment is a lot more than what it was before, because before you only needed what was it, 100, 105, something like that, 110 was the requirement.
107, I think.
107.
And they're going to take out, if you do the payment plan option, people need to be prepared for that first month payment to come out within like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, that's always been like that.
Yeah, so you have to put the down payment plus.
Yeah, the down payment always came out right away, and then your first month always came out the next day.
Yeah.
So if they continue that, it won't be any different than it was before. Like I said, the only difference is, is that now the down payment is $179 across the board, no matter what pass. And I have read that, and I don't know if it's true, you'd probably have to check with the ticket office, that if you were to do it in person, probably, because you can never do it online before, you could put more of a down payment if you want your payments to be lower.
Yeah, you have to do that at the ticket booth.
Yeah.
You've always had to do that at the ticket booth. You couldn't do that online, but you could always give more of a down payment. But obviously, since everybody will be buying their passes online mostly the first time, then if you want to do that, you probably have to go back to the park and do it, or do it on your next time on your renewal or something. But that's always an option, obviously, to get your payments down, is to leave more of a down payment.
I genuinely don't know, and I speak from that place of privilege and responsibility again.
Sorry, I just saw
what I sent? Yeah. I speak from that place of privilege and responsibility again. Is that a factor into anything? How much does that limit people to say, if I have a family of 4, or 3, I'm going to get 3 passes. If I were to get all 3 of them Dream Keys, you're talking $175 down payment times 3. So we're up over there. That's up over $500. Now,
and then you're talking about $306 per month on the payments.
Right. Yep. So are we pricing people out? Or was that what it was before?
About going to the park and dropping some money down, because Yeah, I did the calculation. You're roughly around the same time. So. And the price is the price. So I mean, if that's not the only option, then like I did the last time when I finally got the Signature Plus, I was just like, you know what? Let's get the money. Let's just go down to the park and drop it down. I think it was on a Thursday. We just took a trip, did that, stayed a little bit, you know what I mean? Because they let us in for the first time, dropping it down. And I think it was like maybe like $50, $75 lower on the monthly payment total.
Because what I normally pay him off, or the wife has been like, just put it on the credit card because we'll pay that off, but we might as well get the rewards for the credit card. We'll get the rewards for the credit card. I'll pay it off as soon as I get the bill. I'll just also cash in on the rewards I can get for the stuff, so I got some gift cards to wherever. So that's probably what I'm going to do again, is to drop all three of them and say, for the payment plan, I don't need to do the payment. Because I have before, and then she was like, why? Like, isn't like not something we can't afford, like we totally can. Just put it on the card and we'll just pay it off when we get the bill, but we'll also get the rewards for it. Yeah, dude. And Michael, again, the privilege response, I can take care of that. It isn't a thing. Yeah. And I didn't go didn't go for a year. So there's all that money saved up I didn't use for that. Yeah.
I'm probably doing the payment plan only because I don't have a credit card. I just have my debit cards and they have limits as to how much I could put on them. And so unless I get two different cards to pay the two different passes, I'll probably just do the payment plan and then pay it off later if I can. And if not, then okay.
You should be able to pay it off. They should give you the option to pay it off once again, and you have to do that in person, but you should still have the option to be able to pay it off like you did before if you want to.
Yeah. You can pay it off in person because I've done that too.
You can pay it off, like whatever your balance is. You can go and pay it off, but when it comes to putting it down, it's a one-time shot deal. You can't go later on like, oh, can I? Nope. They're going to say, no, you should do it first time.
Why would you do that? That's stupid anyways.
Because when it comes to money, like, there's a lot of people, growing up, we grew up pretty borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, and you still want to have fun, and there's still this level of, like, wanting to do things. And so a lot of times people juggle their finances differently, and then you're in a different spot and maybe you can afford to put more down at that time. So I understand why somebody would want to do that.
I don't understand people who think that they can put a down payment down halfway through your payments.
Because that's
what he was talking about.
Yeah, I know. But a lot of credit cards and a lot of depending on how.
But then it's not a down payment though. If you're putting it later on, it's not a down payment. It's just a payment.
Yeah, but
that would just be making a bigger payment, which you could do on credit cards and stuff. You can make a bigger payment to drop your balance, but I mean, that would be. That's not really how this works out.
Yeah. You can go and drop money, but your monthly payment will be the same. It's just your month will be pulled back, and let's just say at the ending of December, oh no, you're good, and you don't see nothing pop out. Yeah, I remember I had that because when February came around, taxes, I got a good amount this time, and I was like, you know what? Let me just see if I get a good cast member. Like, okay, yeah, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just put almost everything down. And like, no, you should do it the first time. And then my girl was like, let's finish it off. Let's just pay the extra and we'll deal with it if anything happens down the line financially. And it took care of it.
Yeah, because I'm looking at that $65 per month for the Believe, and that's not really much off of what I was paying per month for the Signature because of the fact that I had put down, I think, about a $200+ down payment on that, which obviously was $200 more. But I think I was paying like $63 per month or something on the Signatures last time because of the higher down payment. So if you put a higher down payment in any of them, it's gonna, particularly on the Dream, you gotta put that higher down payment on the Dream if you want to not have that $102 per month, which for us won't be too bad because I mean we're 2 payments away from paying our car off, so.
I wish I could.
That'll be $400 a month extra that we'll have after September. So that'll be that'll cancel out the extra that we would have to be paying for these passes anyhow.
I mean, when we first saw this, and we're getting to that point where I think we're kind of starting to wrap up. When we first saw this, there was some rage in our group chat. Somebody was mad. I wonder who that was. And then,
I misunderstood.
Yeah.
First of all, let's not
and
bring
it is,
that up.
and it is worded in a weird way. It is worded in a weird
Super
way.
worded in a
Yeah.
weird way.
So we had just got the news, people starting to drop stuff, and then Gina and I were at work when stuff had came out, looking at it and trying to digest it, and realized as you kind of go along, this actually isn't so bad. It's not really as bad as we had thought it was. Everything is like, yeah, it's doable, and most of us, for the most part, we plan when we go.
Mm-hmm.
We plan when we would go anyway. It was there's only a few times that I can think of where it was like, hey, let's just go because we got nothing else to do tonight. Okay, but maybe we, like Michael said, maybe we do get to the point where it can be eventually same day type stuff. Hey, there's spots over here. Let's just go. So I'm willing to play with that.
Do we have confirmation of this? What I like to call charter member benefits that was that Michael that.
Yeah, that came out. The first 66 days of passes are considered charter members, and there's some special benefits.
So that's official. Then.
That's official. Yeah, Disney.
Okay,
did,
that was
Disney
an
did put that
official.
out.
I haven't actually seen that outside of the thing that you guys sent, but and then
everything
also
I dropped was official.
Okay, and then not everything you dropped. That first bullshit, those first two bullshit things with the 12 days and.
Oh, I dropped those. Those are for me.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah. Hey, where are those videos of the guys apologizing for that, by the way?
Oh,
yeah,
you know
right.
what?
Are they there?
He really did. No, he did. He was like, "I'm so glad I'm wrong." And when he dropped those, he said, he's like, "Oh, hey," he's like, "These are just rumor what I'm seeing." He's like, "I really hope I'm wrong." He's like, "I hope I'm wrong." And then
That's some Walt Disney World News Today shit.
And IG people are. It's all about the interaction, because then when you interact with their page, then it shows up on your feed more. They're not stupid. It's like when these stupid YouTubers say something wrong, and then everybody runs to their comment section to correct them. Like, they're not dumb. This is how they've got 100,000 people following their YouTube channels. But no, I dropped those. They were just some.
Yeah, and there were rumors. We dropped those. Yeah, but we were like, that's freaking stupid. That's not.
I wanted to mention that at the bottom of that it mentions that there'll be the what I call AP Corner 2.0. The limited time experience at the Starcade once again, beginning on September 1st with the charging stations, photo opportunity, and other fun surprises. There'll probably be no other fun surprises. It'll probably just be, once again, charging stations and a button.
Cardboard things.
The coloring page.
Coloring page.
You'll get a sticker. They'll say, "Here's the sticker."
It's like, at least bring back the recipes, because I missed those recipes. Were cool when they were doing the recipe cards.
Hey, I don't mind my AP electrical parade buttons though. I kind of like those.
But yeah, AP, the return of AP Corner, essentially. I wonder what they'll call it now. Magic Key Corner? That's stupid. They're going to spell corner with a K.
Magic Key Kingdom.
God.
Key Corner. That's lame.
Magic Key Corner with a K.
Yeah.
I was shocked that it's actually back early, like, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's actually surprising how quick it was. Like, let's go for sale. So, I mean, we did notice some fine print in there that said, passes are limited in quantity.
Yeah.
But they've always said that.
It's a way out. It's Disney always has stuff in there that's a way out. It's not, that's legalese, so to speak.
Yeah, they're not stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose my reservation. I have a reservation in September with my 3-day, and you can't upgrade those. The 3 days SoCal whatevers, you can't upgrade those because they were a special event thing. It's like you can't upgrade the Oogie Boogie Bash.
I never gave that a thought that they were going to do that.
Yeah, and which is fine, but I don't want to lose my reservation anyway. So it's like if I buy this pass, I'm not going to activate it until after that. But then I'm like, well, I want to use the free parking. Like, how's that going to work?
Well, my brother already bought the parking for our trips we got coming up. I'll actually be at DCA as we record this next weekend. You two will too. Yeah, the both of us will be at DCA
on Saturday as well. Yeah,
next weekend. And then with the other one, I don't know. When I get it, I don't know, because maybe I'll want to go the week before. I don't know. For my last trip, which is in September.
Right. And so as long as, and my only thing is I don't want, if I use it, like, let's say I want to use it early in September too, like, that's fine. I just don't want it to mess up my reservation with my other ticket later. So as long as the Magic Key doesn't mess with my other reservation and my last ticket,
it'll be treated as a special ticket event, like in Oogie Boogie Bash, or like the After Dark nights, or what were they called? What were they called? Like the Star Wars night and all that, which I still have the ticket for, by the way. I still have the actual paper ticket for. It'll be like one of those. It is a separate ticket that they scan to get in.
Yeah, because that's all I care about. Like, I just want to make sure, because I have that set. I already have reservations for that day to do other things. So, like, that's the only thing I cared about, was it not messing with that reservation. Honestly, it would have been nice if we could upgrade, but I never, like, I wasn't like, no, Disney has lost my business forever. Like, no.
How dare they?
Yeah. I loved having the 3 days. Like, if they wouldn't have brought back passes for, until the beginning of next year, I really enjoyed the 3 days, and I thought it was really nice. But now I feel like I'm not going to feel so rushed. Like, I don't feel like I have to spend from open to close at DCA on Saturday. It's not the same level of, like, I have to do everything.
Although we are going to open the park with you. Because we decided, okay, since it is a Saturday, let's get there early. We'll, of course, try to get our web slingers thing to get on it because it's new. Yeah. Check it out, and then get the bulk of some things done. Some of the heavy hitters before it starts to get busy. I don't feel the need to be there all day.
Saturday. We're gonna walk over. We got Tortilla Joe's reservations in the heat of the day, so we can go inside and get some air conditioning out in downtown. But we're gonna go over we want to try to get into Tangaroa Terrace Trader Sam's.
Yeah.
Aaron wants to go over and put our name in. Since we're going to be there all day, he's like, let's just go put our name in. If it takes 3 hours, what do we care?
I don't remember the date, but they're going to start allowing reservations at Trader Sam's for lunch and dinner. I don't remember what date that starts.
That would be great.
The Animation Academy is open again, isn't it?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
That's another thing you can get.
Bro, I'm going to spend the middle of the day in the Animation Academy. You know what I got? I bought one of the poster tubes that's like a foot long.
Oh, nice.
And then roll out all my drawings and just stick them in there because I got myself and the kids. Put them in there, man. So I don't get them all messed up. I'm thinking this one through, baby. Thinking this one through.
I think Aaron wants to go drink around DCA and downtown Disney. So we're gonna probably go sample adult beverages around DCA and downtown Disney and Disneyland Hotel that day. Because I told him, as long as there's air conditioning between noon and 4. I'll be fine.
Yeah, Trader Sam's is the drinks are good. Have I eaten?
It's nice when you're there at DCA that you have the Grand Californian right there. You can just pop into also.
Yeah, that
go to Hearthstone or whatever the hell it's called.
Which I've never actually done. I've gone to the hotel because I've checked out when they were doing the gingerbread house and all that, but I've never actually had a drink at the Hearthstone or anything like that. Maybe this is the time in the heat of the day to get away for a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot. This week.
So that may be something that we do a little bit different because I like DCA. But I don't have a problem. Well, Michael saw it. I don't have a problem at either park saying I'm gonna take 2 hours off and just not do anything, which is totally what we did this last time.
Chill in DCA a lot.
Yeah, dude. And I feel like Gina said, because I'm gonna get this thing and I know I'm gonna be back, that I don't feel the pressure to do everything. I'm not gonna lie. There was a little bit of pressure the first time that we went to Disneyland to do let me do some stuff, knowing okay, I don't have to do this the next time I go. I can do this instead, so I don't feel the need to do any of this stuff in Fantasyland. This next time I go, I'll make sure I get on Space Mountain. I'll make sure I'm a Haunted Mansion fan, so I'll make sure I'm gonna go to Haunted Mansion, like those kind of things when we go again in September. And then Haunted Mansion, of course, because it'll be the overlay.
It'll have the overlay.
Yeah.
And because we had never done a Galaxy's Edge, that's where we spent most of our time that first day, and so that's where we wanted to stay. So that was primarily all we did was stuff in Batuu, and then a couple of other things. But now when we go back, I'm like, oh, now I'll go ride Space Mountain.
Yeah.
I'll go do a couple of other things.
I did no shopping. I didn't buy a thing.
Me neither.
I didn't buy anything but food.
Disney has to pay attention to. Because we're not the only ones who said we didn't do a lot of shopping when we were there. What I'm seeing on social media and just people talking on different groups is that they have this overwhelming feeling that they needed to ride all the rides and they needed to do all of the things, and shopping became not a priority at all. And so I'm wondering, like, how much is Disney hurting from merch? Because if I pay for a ticket and I ride 13 rides in a day.
Spoilers, they're not.
They're not. Yeah, I was gonna say they're not.
They're
already
not,
covered.
because
No.
you still got all the regulars that are still spending their thousands of dollars.
I don't know. I know that
Yeah.
for the most part, you know, where they're going to make all their money is concessions and merch.
Right.
They don't make their money on ticket sales.
No.
That's never been where, you know, theme parks don't make money.
When they
primary-
first opened, they were when they first opened, because there had been, you know, I mean, downtown Disney was open, but they were because everybody came in a crush, and all of us crazies went in a rush and were just doing whatever and weren't really spending any money, still weren't buying anything. After that kind of, like Michael was talking about, after that kind of died down and it became just the everyday people that's buying shit, yeah, everybody's buying a set of mouse ears. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know they'll start rocking the key, you know, buckets, and then, you know, the Halloween season, the merch. I heard it's already backstage in the warehouse ready to go. So
Good.
yeah, they got shit ready to go, and I was trying to see what the next bucket is, but no, they can't open up the containers yet. Damn.
No. So it's coming. It's not going to be a thing. They're going to get back to what they were pre-pandemic. Like,
Oh yeah,
pretty
definitely.
fast. And everybody, we're all stupid for buying the stupid keys anyway. Is that where this came from? Because you know how the keys are a big thing as far as the sales.
Well,
Star Wars key and freaking.
Well, the logo literally has one of those keys going through key.
See?
Well, and didn't they used to call, like, well, the e-tickets and the different tickets didn't that have a key on it? Somebody was saying on one of the Facebook sites, I don't remember which one, but that they used to have the e-tickets used to say it was like a key, when they used to have the books, those old ticket books. I don't know.
I think you're right. Well, plus also to cast members, you have the 5 keys or whatever it is
Yeah.
right? Isn't that what it's called? The
Yeah,
5
something
keys?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, key is no new term in Disney. It's still stupid.
They're not on the ticket books.
They're not?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I had seen that. I don't know where, you know.
Stay away from
and
the
then,
internet. Ask us.
I research some stuff, but some stuff I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. And then I just move on because it really, you know, it's not on my radar in terms of stuff that I overly care about. So, and some of it I just find entertaining. Like, I love watching people freak out over Disney stuff. I'm like, wow,
they're
your
still
life
freaking
must be
out.
so awesome. You have nothing else to worry about except what Disney's calling their passes. Can I have that
Pretty
life?
much.
Because, man, I got a lot of other stuff going on.
I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna feel good to go back to the parks randomly.
Well, no, not randomly, planned out in advance,
you
but
know
slightly.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No, it
these
is.
people
I
go,
think
like,
we're all
without
looking
having
forward to
Drop $150 on a ticket.
that. Each time.
Yeah, that was just it's just like, dang, that's a lot of money, you know? And then if you do, like, whenever I pay for something, not all at once, but like if I'm making payments on it, it's almost like a reminder to go. It's like, oh, hey, you really need to go because you're still paying for this. So I figure
when that bill comes out.
yeah, I figure I'll probably, we usually go to the theme parks at least once a month, but my husband works every other weekend. So the weekends he's off, like that's when I schedule everything. But then
there you go. We could have a party in DCA, drink, and a podcast live, maybe.
Carry the laptop. Got to find an outlet.
Right.
So just record it on my phone. There is something called a Magic Key coupon, which looks like one of the fast passes for a ride if something breaks down or something. That does exist, but not on the regular ticket.
Yeah,
books.
I think Magic Key coupons come from cast members, don't they?
Yeah, that's what it is called, the Magic Key coupon. Yeah, but that's not the ticket book, so it's something different.
Yeah, so they're pushing cast member terms on us.
Trying to get you to become a cast member.
Yeah,
One of us. All right. If I could afford my lifestyle working at Disney, I would love to be one of the tour guides. Like, that would be great. If I could work at Knott's Berry Farm in their little schoolhouse and, like, talk to people about the way schools used to be in the 1800s, that would be phenomenal. I'd be a train bandit. Unfortunately, that's not going to pay my bills. So
No.
I am unable to work at any of those places. But
those are not jobs. Those are hobbies.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I want to be the school teacher at Knott's Berry Farm after I retire because I love that little schoolhouse. I can spend hours in there. It's great. Anyway, I digress.
All right, I think we're about wrapped up here. Just wanted to get this. I guess we get our thoughts out or anything else.
Note that we didn't say it at all, but people should know already if they care. August 25th, these bad boys go on sale. Have fun, because I'm not going to be buying them on August 25th, because I'm not going to sit in queue for 6 hours waiting to get to the front of the line, because I have to have it very first day. No. All the people that sat in line for 6 hours the first day that Oogie Boogie Bash tickets went on sale, not one date sold out the first day, but people sat in line for 6 hours.
Multiple times. They did get charged multiple times for their effort.
So, oh no. I feel not sorry for any of you, for anybody that sat in line for 6 hours to get tickets, because you didn't have to, and you're not going to have to get in. Fine, if I end up being proven wrong, well, I guess I'm not getting passes this year, because I'm not going to. I might maybe check in later in the day and see if it's, but no. I will wait until I can just pop on and be like, cool, I'm buying my tickets. I'm done. 5 minutes. If that.
As we wrap this up, I just want to make note that tomorrow, August 9th, as we record this, is the anniversary of the Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Nice.
Yeah. 52 years?
That's always a great ride.
Did you guys anybody watch Jungle Cruise yet?
Have not. Haven't had time
wow,
to see it.
man.
I have not.
Fails.
Yeah,
Fails.
it's on the
I
list.
just don't think I want to pay for it. I think that's
Suicide
no.
Squad.
Suicide Squad is amazing, and I didn't have to pay for
that's
it.
sick. I'm watching
Suicide Squad was pretty amazing.
Sounds
All
good.
right, I was just wondering if you guys had seen that. So
No, but it's coming up. The next time we talk, we'll talk about it. We'll have watched it by then in
Cool.
one way, form, or fashion.
And then the others can talk about it when it becomes free, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I might spring for it, but I always.
I needed that. I needed that fun.
I need the time to
Although I
sit
guess
there
if I
and
could have
have
waited a
everybody
couple more
watch
weeks,
it for $30.
I needed that fun without the blood.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad is super fun, but it's super bloody.
That's what Michael had posted. Yeah.
But Jungle Cruise, all that same fun, and no blood, and only maybe a little bit of blood. Only a little bit of rocks of blood.
All right. Sounds good. All right.